Oh, whoa.
going to need a tune-up after that.
Now it's like, oh, now they're going to do something because Biden isn't following his orders. No, the victory would be the FBI director and the head of the Justice Department, the Attorney General, and Obama, the real president, the real puppet president. They all get indicted for enabling this and allowing this. But, oh, now, no, it's the senile Biden. He's all to blame. Perfect timing. And right on top of it, Hunter Biden plea deal falls apart at a hearing. And now they're talking about, oh, an unregistered foreign agent charges and sex trafficking charges. And, oh, my gosh, it's just his luck ran out. Hunter Biden's luck just ran out.
Rallying patriots worldwide in defense of human liberty. It's Alex Jones.
InfoWars. Tomorrow's news today.
Ladies and gentlemen, the deep state New World Order occupiers of our republic are now pressing the lever on the toilet and beginning to flush the turds known as the puppet Joe Biden and his crackhead pedophile son Hunter. Told you it was imminent. I predicted Tucker Carlson would be fired within the next month. 1 month later, he was fired. And I've said on record in the last 2 weeks that they're imminently going to charge Hunter Biden with more charges. They're going to take his plea deal away, and they're going to file impeachment charges now, finally, because Biden didn't step down. They don't want to have the embarrassment of frying their puppet. But Biden's trying to be a real boy. He's trying to stay in charge. And they're saying, no, 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 you must make way for Gavin Newsom. Roger Stone is seldom wrong. He's definitely one of the best political minds out there. He really says they've got Big Mike ready. And that'll be Big Mike and Gavin Newsom. I think it should be Big Mike and somebody else. People say, oh, well, they removed Biden, it'll be Kamala. No, she knows to step down when she's told. That woman's even dumber than the brain-dead Biden. I mean, he's as dumb as a box of rocks. She's as dumb as an entire quarry of rocks. You see, the more mindless rocks you have, it creates a negativity in the stupidity. So, just like clockwork, the impeachment is suddenly on with McCarthy, Speaker of the House, and suddenly, just a month ago said we couldn't do it, suddenly the plea deal for the crackhead pedophile placeholder for the Obamas and their third administration is bye-bye. Speaker McCarthy says House readying to bring impeachment charges against Biden imminently. And now suddenly the corporate media is focusing on his gaffes, something they weren't doing before, and showing you the daily ones that we show you, where he said COVID-19 killed 100 people. This is in the same speech. He said that Biden had cured cancer, and then talked about kids and child porn. So we got those clips for you. It's all coming up. Hunter Biden plea deal falls apart at hearing. I predict Hunter, if Biden doesn't figure out what's about to happen to him and step down, I predict that Hunter will be indicted within 2 weeks for more crimes. If Biden steps down and begins the process of the new globalist puppet, because they don't want to just destabilize normal elections and steal those. They also want to make people step down in things. It's like you always have one pope for thousands of years. Now you have two popes at once. The globalists admit it's all about confusing people, all about creating just a normalcy for regular status quo to not be the case. Like, hey, two men can have a baby, and we're going to cut your 7-year-old son's penis off. It's liberal. And a man in an admiral outfit is going to talk about how the state needs to take your children away and mutilate them. It's all about normalizing just totally insane, cuckoo world craziness. So that's coming up, and you knew they'd do it. You know, I said this was obvious 3 years ago what they were going to pull, that COVID causes heart damage, and so all the heart attacks exploding is because of COVID, but it's the people that are the most vaccinated with the poison shot that are having the high levels of strokes and blood clots and heart attacks and myocarditis. And here it is. That's what they're saying now. USC basketball, how a COVID-19 infection could have impacted Bronny James' heart. But Bronny James took all the vaccines, all the experimental shots. I thought he was protected. Oh, well, that's it. He didn't take enough shots. Well, then LeBron, I think, should start taking one every month and see how it does for him. Because these folks will never admit they were conned. Can't do it. And that's why pretty soon, I guess, his whole family will be pushing daisies, killing themselves because they can't admit they've been lied to. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Better look out. What have I told you? Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on this Wednesday, July 26, 2023 transmission. And all hell is breaking loose. They've got the main alien invasion psyop going in Congress. Blue Beam has begun. Woo! Got expert guests coming up, third hour. Incredible highlights of the ongoing UFO hearings where they say the government's hiding craft and aliens. And it's the same PR story they've been putting out for 60 plus years. I'll give you the inside baseball coming up. And I'm not saying we're alone in the universe, but this whole thing is part of a larger psyop. So we're going to be looking at that. It's official. Biden's refused to step down to make way for the next puppet operation. And so Speaker McCarthy has been given the green light by the deep state, says House readying to bring impeachment charges against Joe Biden imminently. And they've withdrawn the plea deal and the sweetheart deal for Hunter Biden. Now he's facing serious jail time. And the word is they're getting ready to indict him for human trafficking and more. Of course, all of this will not happen if Joe Biden just takes the blame for the whole New World Order agenda and fades away. And I've been predicting that it's in the cards. Not saying it's going to happen, but if he refuses to step down and makes a scene that a right-wing extremist, close quote, is going to truck bomb him or shoot him at one of his events, and then they'll recycle his death, turning it into that he's a patron saint like George Floyd, and that it's the right wing that did it. I really think they're going to recycle him that way. I hope and pray that's not the case. I actually pray that God send angels to protect this man so that he can stand trial for all of his crimes and not be turned into a martyr. But I want to just tell you, if you don't see that play coming down with everything else that's going on, I think you're blind. So we're all in a very dangerous, very, very serious time today. We also have a lot of prominent people losing their bank accounts. When they try to go get other bank accounts, everybody says you can't have a bank account. We went through this 5 years ago, and it's like, well, that's just Alex Jones are doing it too. And we had to do some very creative things to even continue to operate. And now it's Dr. Joseph Mercola and all of his employees. And a lot of people say, well, you better just back down and shut up and not talk about the poison shot. Yeah, let's give in to the murderous bullies and then they'll be nice to us. No, what made us an open, free country was Americans didn't take crap from the British Empire, who were sweethearts compared to the New World Order, and fought an empire never defeated and stopped them through perseverance and determination. And so understand, you give in to the New World Order, you keep bending over, you keep groveling, it only makes it worse. The ocean in which they swim is your submission. And then, of course, I say and, we've got hundreds of different stories here. You knew this was coming. How are they going to say all these hundreds of football players are collapsing and dying and basketball players and the heart attacks everywhere? Why, it's COVID. COVID attacked their hearts. Now, they took all the shots. They didn't protect them, but you're supposed to forget, you were told. Take the shot. It works 100%. It's great. You can't get COVID, and you can't share COVID. In fact, pull up Biden saying, when he was president, right when he first got in, but there's a bunch of it where he said, if you take the vaccine, which is not, you cannot get COVID, and you cannot spread it. We have Rachel Maddow saying that. But now we're like, okay, it doesn't protect you, and it's the COVID. Well, why is the COVID mainly killing people in really good shape from heart attacks? No, it's the spike protein, and we have the studies in people that have really high oxygen levels. It supercharges the growth of it, and you get spike protein blooms in your heart, and you're bye-bye. And I told you, they're now saying that LeBron James's son will never play competitive basketball again. His heart is shot. USC basketball, how a COVID-19 infection could have impacted Bronny James' heart. Yeah, maybe a leprechaun did it too, not that shot. They say a variety of problems, but they never say the shot. It's okay to say COVID, or maybe a Keebler elf did a magic spell on him. Maybe a bird flew over and pooped on him. Maybe the wind blew. We already heard yesterday, ESPN said it's the hot weather. They were playing basketball inside in air conditioning. Oh, heart attacks are up worldwide because of climate change. Yes. So it's climate change. I remember Dory from, pun intended, from Little Nemo or Finding Nemo. And it's a species of fish that has like a 5-second attention span. Goldfish have about a 12-second. And the fish can't ever remember anything. So from minute to minute, she's meeting her friends and not remembering that they were her friends. Now, that's a literal issue. Well, it's the same thing saying global warming. You got to pay carbon taxes. You got to get rid of your car. You got to not have kids. We got to euthanize old people. I mean, humans are bad. Carbon dioxide's evil. We've got to get rid of it. But that's why now every time there's a particularly hot summer, and this is a hot summer, but you see headlines saying Death Valley record temp 130. And then the record temp is 134 in 1913. Look it up. But they're just lying to you. And it turns out last year it hit 130 and the year before it hit 129. But yeah, the temperatures fluctuate year to year. But I have this weird thing called a really good memory. And I remember the temperatures when I was 10 years old and 14 and 13. You know why? Because we had a year of heat spells and people were dying on the football field during two-a-days, so they canceled the second two-a-day, and I sure loved that year because I only had to play two-a-days in the morning and not go back after lunch, and it was exhausting. I remember it being 113, 114 degrees, but now they tell me 105, 106 last week is the hottest ever recorded in Texas, in the area of Texas where I live. Now, that's just not true, but that's why they lie to you. Yep, there it is. What was the hottest day in Texas history? Almost 30 years ago, the West Texas community of Monahans hit 120 degrees, located in Ward County, about 30 miles from Odessa. The extreme temperature was marked by June 28, 1994. Hey, let's go look at, let's go see what Monahans, let's look up West Texas temperatures right now. Pull up a West Texas heat map on July 26, 2023. And I'm going to bet you, it's a little earlier in the day right now. It's 11 o'clock Central, 11:14. I'm going to bet it's 95 degrees in West Texas right now. And I bet at 4 o'clock when it peaks, I bet it's 107. Let's check back during Owen's show today at like 5 o'clock. That's 4 o'clock's when it peaks. And I bet you money in Monaghan, it's 105, 106, 107. Hedge my bet. And I bet you right now it's 95. Let's pull up West Texas. Let's pull up Monahans. And let's see what it is. Let's blow that up. I said 95, 96. Pull it up. And right out there where Monahans is, it's 96. And right there on the Mexico border, it's 100 degrees. Okay. Now, let's see today if it gets up to that temperature. Is that current temperature? It says 102. Okay, so it's hotter than I thought. And what was the record there? 120. So let's see today if it gets up to 120. I bet it doesn't break 110.